that the whole security issues have become more and more prominent on our agenda. You see what happened here in Europe, what is happening elsewhere, and we have a whole set of actions to fight against organized crime, countering terrorism, and also to protect certain critical infrastructures, as it's called. So within that set of activities, we are doing this program to stop and to reduce piracy. Normally, the private sector, the operators of the ships, they expect free passage, safe passage and secure passage. These specific programs aim to further increase the capacity of coastal guards in order to tackle with the issue of piracy, that they're better equipped in seizing or even preventing piracy. Is that there is no future in piracy. It's very clear. And that we would like to show to those who think or are engaged in this business that there is no future in that. And that means, on one hand, of course, we need to stop the pirates from entering the ships, but also, when they are caught, that they get due process of law. Their human rights are being respected in the court, and that, for example, the process takes place on evidence-based material and not coercion. The root causes are lack of education, lack of even health, lack of prospects for a future job in a normal way. So we, with our development cooperation instruments, on a bilateral basis, try to transform the economies and see that these kind of criminal activities are not taking place from a preventive approach. That there is a link between anti-piracy and economic development in the countries concerned, because we understand that there cannot be any development cooperation without a minimum level of security and stability. We are working here, we're working here, and we start to work here. We have started in the northern part of the Indian Ocean with the Emirates and in Yemen, and also further down in the Horn of Africa. We have now started on the western part of Africa with Benin, Togo, Nigeria, and so on and so forth. And now the aim is to try to go and work for the whole Indian Ocean. So how do we foster that? We foster that very simple. First, by listening to them. To listening, what is their day-to-day experience, what is their difficulties in monitoring and tracking the way ships are moving, and also what are their challenges and difficulties in the response capacity. I was listening to the authorities Kenya. We were listening to the authorities in Benin, on the other side of the African continent. And they come up with their, and others as well, so they come up with their concerns. It's not only the piracy as such, but also the linking of terrorist activities with organized crime. So that's why we are thinking now also to broaden a little bit the activities in order to have, let's say, a maximum of results. We have looked at the experience in the European Union. It's clear that to be effective, the police cannot act alone. The customs cannot act alone. The coastal guards cannot act alone. You need to have information from the maritime authorities, which ships are coming, how they're moving, etc. That information needs to be connected to the police, to the coastal guards, to the customs and others. So this multifaceted approach, this working together, which for us now in Europe is more or less normal, that concept we would like to transpose to the countries in which we are working. Making them aware that only by working together you can be much more effective. But as I said, it cannot be only effective on a national basis because the ships are very mobile, the pirates are very mobile, and you have to do it on a regional basis. So we work first on a national basis and then we try to link the systems on a regional basis. And I hope it will work. The countries need to have trust among themselves to share the information, to alert each other something funny is going on, in order even to prevent attacks of piracy. Is it done overnight? No, it's not done overnight. This means fundamental changes in the countries themselves. First of all, agencies start to work to cooperate themselves. And if that's done, they have to start to cooperate with their neighbors. This takes time. This is a matter of trust. This is a matter of information sharing. This is a matter of experts getting to know each other. And that's what we're trying to do via training, via setting up new administrative structures for the people involved, for the experts involved to work together. We had some success already. You see a reduction in piracies on the eastern part of Africa, naval operation, and with our measures which are more in relation of building up structures and capacity. Some countries are very well advanced in the fight against piracy. Singapore, Indonesia, others. Others are somewhat behind. A fundamental principle is that we are listening to the countries. What are their needs? What are their problems? And that we try to respond.